Alrighty. First fucking video on the fucking Switch. I actually finally got myself a capture card. So now I'm motivated to play some games. I'm really hoping that it's not that loud. Let me double check. I gotta turn it up maybe a little bit. Just that way we can at least hear like some audio. I think that should be fine, right? We'll figure it out later. I don't think it's gonna be too loud, but that is it. I'm just gonna change the perspective of my microphone. I think right there. That should be fine. Yeah. Let's see if I happens if I turn it down a little bit. I think that should be fine. Yep. Alrighty. Let's do this. Playing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Let's do it, man. Let's fucking do it. I'm gonna have to change this down. There we go. It's been so long, man. I really wanted to play this game so badly. And you guys don't know, I'm actually playing on my Joy-Con and on my Pro Controller. Kind of wish I can, but I really want to get this game done. Oh my god. This looks amazing, man. I'm really hoping it's not that loud. I don't think so. I'm kind of like louder than this one. So I think we should be fine. Special contents. Special contents. I'm gonna check it out right now. Oh, is this like gallery? Damn. Alright. Sorry. Alrighty. Let's do it. Do new game. I want to try to see if I can get this like one video and one done. So.
The Empire of Japan, after opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation. The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some were swept away by the tide.
Oh my god, it's so cool. It's so cool.
But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
Oh shit. Episode 1, The Adventures of the Great Departure. Oh my god, I can't wait, man. I can't wait. 2nd of November, 8:43 a.m. Supreme Court of the... Was it? Jury capture defendant a Chamber 5? What the fuck? Sorry, I can't read. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. How could it be that just beyond the doors it's quite... Wait, sorry. How could it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court and judge waiting to decide my fate? Oh, it looks so 3D. What? Oh no, nothing. Slavier glares murderer. Damn. Sorry. Ryan no Soki? I'm gonna call you Ryan. Ryun? How do you fuck you pronounce that? I'm gonna call you Ryan. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yemi University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrific incident. And now here I am. I'm waiting for my trial. That's enough. Ooh. Yo, he got a bandana. And he got a katana. What? Back in the day, oh yeah, I guess, I don't know. I was gonna say, back in the day, you could actually, like, wear a fucking katana without having a fucking license or anything. People could just fucking carry that shit. He's not obliged to listen to such an abuse, officer. And who are you? I am this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes. And until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So will you hold your tongue? Damn, he's about to cut his ass. Tisk. Technicalities, look at you, you haven't even graduated yet. And yet, I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Right, Ryan? I'm just gonna call him Ryan, man, even though it's not his name, but... How the fuck am I supposed to pronounce this? I'm gonna Google search it. No joke, I am literally gonna do it right now, just because I feel bored. Not being bored already, but I'm just like... I don't know. No. How the fuck you pronounce this name? Google. How you pronounce it? Ryunosuke? Ryunosuke. I kind of like Ryunu better. I don't know. I like to call him Ryan. Why not? I fucking love the name Ryan. Okay. Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. What's his fucking name? Can't wait to Google translate that. What are you apologizing? What are you apologizing? Ugh. Why are you apologizing to me for? Oh, no, I suppose it wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma? I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. Ha ha ha. There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. Is that how you pronounce it? Kazuma? Yeah, I guess it's Kazuma, I guess. Though, I must say, it's been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yumi University professor murdered in cold blood by student. Oh. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not. You have to believe me. I didn't do it. I could have murdered someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten up yourself, hold your head high. Man, I can't read. You mean, I believe you know you're innocent. I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryan. Just gotta call him fucking Ryan, man. Kazuma Asogi? My best friend, also in his second year at Yumi University. But he's far more clever than I, a star student, in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Oh. What the fuck? I didn't really be able to read that. It's not that impressive. The very culprit of content of lawyers is only a few years old. Here in Japan, anyways. My qualifications don't mean much yet. He said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. Oh, really? But I am proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma, truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. Congratulations, Kazuma. It looks like you're going to get to study aboard at least. God damn, I can't read. I know, it's been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academy achievements and successor in court. For punch is good. So you'll be representing Japan as you Amir I can't pronounce this, man. I'm sorry. Yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. Holy shit, I can't even read that. I'm really happy for you and proud as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura bilbowing around his temple. I never heard of that word. Bilbowing? I want to bring about changing in our own legal system. That way I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire, and I wish to see it too. Huh. Then comes with me. Oh wait, did it say then come with me? I guess. I don't know. We'll have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's cities of London together. If only it were that simple. Oh dear. Look at the time. I better get going. I better be going. God damn. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I gotta stay and enjoy this place a little while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant, like this. See you in the English class tomorrow then, partner. Chris Redfield? Partner. It was straight after that. That's when it happened. Wait, so after he had that conversation, that was when I guess they shot, or I guess someone shot the guy and he didn't, and they framed him, I guess. I don't know. Asugi, may I have a word? Who is this? Is that mom and dad? Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Oh, that's the professor? Of the university? I don't know. Well, this case has personal significance to me. But never mind that for now. Asigo, you should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To his accessory's chamber? Why? He was looking for you before. You're advocating for the defendant in this trial with sudden decision. It seems that there may be some confusion about goddamn productions today as a result. I can't even fucking read. Who is this man? Oh, I guess we don't know who the hell that is. I feel as though I've seen him at university before. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. Alright then, Ryan. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes, thanks, Kazuma. Alrighty. We're gonna talk to this guy. Just want to say anything, huh? Ugh, this is awkward. If I may, Yes, sorry. You must be the defendant. Ryan Naruto? I think the last name, I don't know if that was, I can't remember what the fucking name. I think the last one is Naruto. Not not Naruto, but Naruto. So, I believe. Yes, that's right. My name is Eugen Mikotoba. Mikotoba? I'm the professor of forensic medicine at Yumi University. Oh, he's a scientist. Professor Miko Taba. Toba? I guess I don't know. I heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma's study abroad. Asigo has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you have you no doubt heard, Asigo has been has granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that that permission will be revoked and never granted again. What? As I suspected, you were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi, I guess that's how you pronounce it. I have no idea. May have chosen not to tell you. He agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered. But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has to choose from the large number of applicants for overseas studies. It is very difficult to pursue them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it, I swear. I'm not the murderer. I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that provoking your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain I don't know. I guess strange things about today's trial. Sorry, what do you mean? You'll still understand once proceeding getting underway. But then what should I do? Well, just keep your mouth shut. Naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Sorry. Right. So, as soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain questions to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. And you must say, I do. I do? But what will the question be? Surely not, did you accept the accusation brought before you? Of course not. Defendant? Oh shit. Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. Oh shit. It would seem that our what the fuck? Conversations have to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in his trial. Wait. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving. There's no point for anyone advocating for the likes of you anyways. Oh shit. This is it. If this trial goes badly, Kazuma's dream of starting a board are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. Okay, I would actually want to see some of these buttons here. So we have Y, which is history. I'm guessing this is options, where I can save. Okay. And I guess pressing the minus button is going to autoplay, so I don't want to do that. And so, with absolutely no idea what lies ahead, I embark on the unforgettable trial. Unforgettable trial, sorry. My one and only chance to prove my innocence, the trial that would decide my destiny. Okay. 2nd of November, 9 o'clock a.m., the Supreme Court of Judy Capture Courtroom 2. Is that even a word? Judy Capture? So this is a courtroom? The Supreme Court of Judy Capture. No court in the land has more power. I don't much like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The power have been determined that this is the secret trial. A secret trial? A trial that closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It'll become clear in time, but for now, you need to concentrate. I don't know. Ryan, it's about to begin. Oh shit. It's that one fucking dude with glasses. At least the judge looks younger than the fucking other judges, but I don't know. The court will now hear the trial of Ryan Naruto. I guess the prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. As is the defendant. Before we begin, there's one point in order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defendant had a last-minute request for a chance of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedure is for the defense adversary to be decided 2 days prior to trial. And this is an unusual circumstances. I am obligated to ask the final confirmation now. Who advocate to for the defendant in this trial? Oh shit. I'm gonna save just... Oops, not that one. I'm gonna save just in case. If this goes horribly. This must be the question. Who is going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do... I need to answer quickly. What should I do? So... Okay. Should I... Nah, I'm not going to wait and see. Because if I don't think I'm going to be found guilty, but... Like I said, I have no other defense, but I think I might have to do this. So we'll say I do. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I am standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear.
Yes.
What's the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like the information the court that I, Ryan Naruto, will be defending myself. Wait, what? Did I do the right thing? You'll be... What? Where are you playing at, Ryan? Professor Migula told me everything, just now before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad will be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I wouldn't be able to get you off. No, that's not that, really. It's just that, well, off the chance of that thing didn't go well for me, I could bear to be the reason that you... Yes. I know that's how you feel, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor should have stuck his nose in. Very well. Wait, did I do the right thing? The court behalf recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself for today's trial. Well, well. Does the accused admitting defeated already? Resounding his own counsel? Really?
Objection!
Make no mistake, counsel. This mirror shows that the defendant's innocent is so apparent he convicted that he spoke for himself. Is that so, Naruto-san? Why does it say san? Why the fuck? Oh, yes, exactly. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck I was thinking, man. I thought that I can fucking... I thought I'm saying the yes, like... Yes, he's defending me, but I guess... I don't know. Oh well. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered. Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have pretended at most horrendous crime indeed. As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judy Capture of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standard of conducts are expelled of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruto? Yes, Your Excellency. It is therefore my duty to assist your compensant for the task you have undertaken. Sorry, I can't read. My compensant? What does that mean? Yeah, what the fuck? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, you can't be questioning it more than I am. So let's start with the very simple question. Yes. Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this court. Well, that's easy enough. I heard his name more than times that I care to remember. But, wait. I'm so nervous I can't even remember that. What was it again? Ryan. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank. So he knows me so well. All the relevant information in this case can be found in the court records. But I can't even find that. It's simple. You can access the court record with pressing the right. It's funny. If you ever find you've forgotten something, you're just consult that. Just all in there. I just have to press R to the courtroom. Oh yeah, here it is. This is evidence you collected. Now try and switch to people. The R again. You'll find details about the victim here. When you're done, press B to come back. Okay. So he's 23 years old, a second year at the Imperial Yemi University. He is my best friend, and despite being a student, a qualified defendant lawyer as well. Yuji Mikotoba, I guess, a medical school professor at the Imperial Yumi University. He is a attorney in forensics medicine and Kazuma's mentor. Okay. Takiti Soshi Achi, 51, the lead prosecutor of this case, who would appear to have little love for change the culture reformation has brought up. Okay. This is the guy that we killed, John H. Wilson. The victim of the case, he was visiting the professor for medicine at Yumi University from the British Empire. Oh. So remember, everything you do in the current case can be found in the court records. Now you better not keep your excellency waiting anyway longer. Go on. Wait, do I have like other stuff? Okay. University collar pin. Proof that I'm a student at the Imperial Yumi University. I always wear on the collar of my uniform jacket. Post-mortem report. Death occurred at little after 2 p.m. It was caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. Bullet did not pass through the victim's body. Shortly after... Okay. Single bullet fired at close range. Fatal hemorrhage from the parietal ballistics trauma. No exit wound. Bullet did not pass through the body. Okay. It was a John H. Watson. Find the victim, the people, and then press the records and try. Okay. I'm guessing, yeah. What if I just do other ones? I just do my friend. Oh, I can look up. Press X. That was history, okay.
Yes.
The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Oh, it's Wilson. Well, at least you can remember the name of the members of your own university. Dr. Wilson was visiting professor from England, visiting to Yumi University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case was such profound implications. The British Empire. Oh, is that why this is like a secret trial? Because I guess the British Empire is involved with it now. Because like they lost like their best doctor. Is at present our country most viable voiding your allies. And most of you will be aware we just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of Anglo-Japan Treaty of Friendship and Navigations. And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been split on our soil. You two are both undergraduate at the Imperial Yemen University, aren't you not? Murdering a professor from the very instant that proves your educations. Have you no honor? But I didn't do it. This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes to speedy result resolution to this matter. Huh. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting English policy makers. And you're a competent and expedable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why this trial has these unusual. Personally, this is it. Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. But nationality and treason won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there on the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the time. I better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer. Hoping I don't make any noise if I just do this. Hold up. Oops. I dropped my phone. Sorry. Trying to get myself a pizza. Because I am hungry. So don't mind me eating, so. Probably you guys can hear me chewing. That's kind of disgusting. Alrighty. So. Alright, I already read that one. Good idea. After all, it's not every day that you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow, then, partner. The British Empire. Wow. It's incredible to think. Wait. I've seen that man at a university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still, I should go and say hello. So I went over there to the professor's table and introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, defendant Naruto. Yes, Your Excellency. How did this professor of medication, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. The cause of death. Well, obviously that was Ryan. Remember, in the court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. By evidence? But how? Find a piece of evidence that showed the professor's cause of death. Select presence. Do it now. Yep, this one. The post-mortem, or obviously the autopsy. Let's do this.
Yes.
Well, according to this document, the victim suffered a heromatic death due to a gunshot trauma. Learn to read. Let's see. That's a post-mortem report, I take it. Sorry, yes, that's right. The post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor disselects corpse to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, the police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested in any of this later. This is so-called photograph. What is it? This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. You can clearly discern scratch marks on the bullet holes pursued by the powder explosion. Okay. Making sure. In other words, we would assume that the victim was shot at close range. Yep, that's what it says. Thank you, counsel. The court will be accepting this modern significant evidence into the records. The photograph printed of the victim has been entered in the court records. A photograph of the print that shows the victim. He was shot in front in the chest and subsequently died. So that photographic print, well, that's something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to the drawing. The detail is incredible. Very well. I am satisfied with your answer. Let us start with the trial. Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the fact of the case, the prosecution hereby calls the first witness who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened. This is it then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Miko Toba? Yes, clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me, but that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant. Huh? Of course. Well, I was speaking for me before. He simply said, Kazuma must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking his aura in, hasn't he? Must be, but if any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma. Well, my first piece of evidence, my first piece of advice, is Rinu is that crazy look for bewilderment and control the cool sweats. Only if you Rooney in the crazy headband and control the cold strings first. Alrighty. Waiter. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Of course. My name is Satoru Hosungaya? I'm gonna call it Satoru? I'm gonna call it Satoru. I am the head waiter of the Western style restaurant called Le Carvera. What the fuck is coughing blood? Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some. It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me. Well, it's really should. As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarters was developed from foreigner visitors some years ago. It's been a very fashionable district now, full of hotels and wait, moderate overseas guests. This grim crime occurs in one of the district's so-called restaurants, and currently Eastern, 3 days ago. Understood. Hosuke-sama, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. At once, sir. And no pity interjections from the aspired lawyer boy, please. Oh, perspiring maybe, but sparing? It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in questioning. We had a few dinners at the time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. Oops, sorry. That fits in with my memory of it too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. And it was when I was in the kitchen putting away crockeries and culturing. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out of the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an Englishman, sobbing up in his chair. And standing beside him, a gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Yes.
Hold on. Let me just clarify something here. While I picked up the gun and found laying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him.
Attention!
I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness report of what he saw, you amateur. But the next time you interrupt at a imperial time, you will be penalized, defended Naruto. Don't worry, Ryan. You'll have your chance to fight back. For now, we must just quietly listen to the witness. If I may confirm one point later, standing beside with a gun in his hand was the same man we've seen here in court today. Yes, without question. I see. And a part of the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? No. There was no one else around the table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Huh? Wait. What did he just say? There was no one else around the table. What's the matter? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson and said hello, there was a woman sitting opposite of him at this table. Really? And that's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjection, but still, what should I do? I mean, I got no evidence. Oh, I can actually... Oops. Wait, is there a way... I see... What should I do? Should I... I don't want to fucking... Wait and see. I guess we could just wait and see, because I don't know if the picture... Because I can see that there's like... See, there's like another glass. I don't know if it's just me or something, but I can see that there's like another glass here, but... Okay. I think we'll just wait and see, just to see if we can get more evidence. I spy wanted to say something, but I was told not to interject. Ryan, if your parents tell you to study, you're a kind man who would discontinue to get to work, aren't you? I suppose I am, but I never had got into Yumi University otherwise. But you can't just always follow the rules in life, you know. If you don't say you don't want to say right now, you'll certainly regret it when you found guilty. Alright, you scared me. I won't forget the piece of advice in a hurry. And there's something I want to say, but I just can't just shut my eye off.
Yes.
But am I going to? Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone on that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table. Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your bundling disregards for the court proceeding, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a frown. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not just a real lawyer after all? But I'm sure of what I saw. Hosogana-sama, there's any chance you've been mistaken, perhaps your memory of the event has hastened. Wait, did he say something? No. The decent gentleman came to dinner alone. I don't believe it. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please have a look if you'll like to. Let me see. A sketch of the establishment layout drawn by yourself, I presume. That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a terminable situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well, you're clearly a very exceptional waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well, is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course, here you are. What was that about? He had been completely calm and collected until now. Something certainly seems to have shaken him. The waiter business card has been entered into the courtroom. The head of the waiter's business card, a sketch of the restaurant layout, is on the back. Damn, he's like coughing or hell in there. Why the fuck he's coughing? So the court has now heard the purpose of the case. Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only people in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on the trial today. It would seem that we are looking at the black and white case here. Defendant Naruto. Yes, Your Excellency. If you admit you're guilty at this stage, the court is willing to look merely upon you. In other words, you must have some small personal in terms of your punishment. I called this waiter as a unsworn witness in court to explain the details of the case of this court. But I must warn the defendant, if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial, the procession has descended evidence with sworn witness who were presented at the scene of the crime. What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me that this is a trial. This trial is unusual about these penalties. You said it, Professor. You said it. Professor Miko Toba said it. And this is the judge and prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face. Is that it? What? If accused in this fact innocent, then the defendant lawyer is duty bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet. Whoa. Defendant pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invited the prosecutor to stop making empty threats and bring out the witness. Then we'll see how decisive this evidence really is. Indeed. Prosecutor Achi, please continue with proceeding. Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. In a few short moments from now, the drumstick young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witness. Very well, officer. Bring forth the witness at once. Who's the other one? Was that Hitler? Wait, do we have... Wait, I want to see the business card. So we have the kitchen and the entrance. Okay. And then who are these people? Well, let me just read this guy. The head waiter of the European-style restaurant. He was served there on the day of the incident. He was 29. Okay. I'm gonna take a bite because I'm starving. All right. Witness, kindly state your name and occupation for the court. Oh God, I thought he was gonna do the fucking hand. Yes, sir. The Great Noble Imperial Army Sergeant Yadi Saya Sosa. I'm gonna call you Sosa. Reporting for duty, sir. Myself, I found employer as purveyal of fine articles of antiquity from the influence of our nation, Nippon, and conduct my trade from Rasu tea and humble premiers in the second district, Kakuri, Korikata, at your service. I can't get these names, man. An antique dealer, and a soldier, what an unusual pair. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in questioning. They must be the diner at They must be diners at the other table at the waiter. Myself, I hardly take the tea of the most exquisite amore of the establishment in question, always opposed to noon. And not frequently, the converse with the interested parties regarding the case of the witness I make my business. Sorry. I can't understand a word that woman is saying. Yeah, me too. I can't even fucking read, man. He's an antique dealer, and it sounds like he's a regular at Let's Carva. He seeks out potential customers who may have interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He is obviously targeting the community because it is a high-class restaurant with rich people. Right, I see. Though, to be honest, that sergeant looks more than he'll be a seller rather than a buyer. Now, you both witnessed the personal moment of the incident. Is that correct? Affirmative. The enemy until was seen attack the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. It was that black uniformed rogue infantry man over there who unloaded his firearm, sir. This man is impossible to understand as the other. But I'm also sure that I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. Wait, he made a strange noise? So this is the decisive evidence the prosecutor was threatening. Oops. The soldier was claiming that he actually saw the piercing moment you shot the victim dead. Yes. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now, the court will hear your affirmative testimony, please. You will state everything you saw on the piercing moment that the incident occurred. Yes, sir. Standing by, ready and report, sir. Already memories of the most ephemeric afternoon. What the witness saw. I was ingesting a regularization beef steak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was exploring the virtue of particularly fine golden custody for the military gentleman. At the time, at that piercing moment, did I just hear a fucking baby? At a piercing moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's action with my own eyes. The black uniform fairly conduct fire on the English civilian, and from the back, a cowardly little weasel. I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysterious Akira castle. Well, so you, Sergeant Noah, actually witnessed the virtual moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. Okay, that's gotta be bad. And that dude has a fucking knife. Why the fuck does he have a knife? Is that supposed to be in the fucking court? I mean, this dude has a fucking katana, so you know what? Fuck it. I don't give a shit. Literally, this dude has a fucking knife. He could literally stab his eye. The cruel, that wicked university candidate, sir. The cruel and unforgettable enemy. What time we live in, when the English gentleman may be assailed to board the light of day. But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true? Yes. All I did was I picked up the gun and I saw laying on the floor. After I said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking with some coffee. Then when I finished, I got up from my seat and I leave the restaurant. When I noticed the English made gun next to the chair when the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down, and just when I was picking it up, bang. Well, if that's the truth, then it was obviously a criminal on the scene of the crime somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimony, there's a clue as who the criminal was. There is. Ryan, you must exert your rights to cross-examine the witness. Cross-examine? Do it now. As you heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt that the testimony of these witnesses, the defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring this despicable student to justice. Certainly, the testimony of the court has heard the eliminated and virulent doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty. What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? I mean, the defendant demands the right to a cross-examination. Dear me, dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic. How did he know? Because he's like right there. The prosecution objects. This is clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How could he possibly carry out a cross-examination? The defendant is right to cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Gulp. Kazuma is so commanding. Very well. Let the defendant conduct a cross-examination of the witness. Alright, this is where the battle really begins. But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lie in the witness statement. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means that the soldier said he has to be lying. Well, but it's just a case of providing it, and the key to do it is the evidence. Right, evidence. All you need to do is present some decipherable and evidence to prove the witness is lying. Now let's go. Don't let them beat you. Alright then. It's all for nothing. Alright. What the witness saw. Okay, I think I might have to save this, just so that way the... I'm gonna take a bite too. Okay. I was in guesting a regular beef restaurant when having a dinner with oh man. Oops. Present.
Yes.
Uh-oh. Why aren't you saying anything? Is this something new interrogation technique? I haven't actually thought of what I was gonna ask. Just ask about anything that catches your attention, anything that bothers you. Alright then, this beefsteak you mentioned, what kind of food is it that? Tenshi. Beefsteak is a delicious cut of veal, vicious cooked on a cast iron grill and served pipe hot. Oh. If food could receive medals of honor, beefsteak would be almost as highly conducted as a cutlet. Right, I'd see. Thank you, sir. So next question. This cutlet you mentioned, what kind of food? Why, bro? Cutlet is a delicious cut of veal tossed in breadcrumbs and deep fried in cooking oil. Accepting your guilt verdict, atone your crimes, and when you're released from prison, try it. He has a fucking baby, man. Why the fuck he has a baby on court? Where can I see this baby? When can they reveal? Sorry to interrupt, but how about trying to stick the questions that are relevant to the case? Oops, sorry. I'll do my best. So, next question. Is it just me, or do you keep hearing some sort of wire crying noise? Negative. Well, at least you learned that he's a big beef lover. Affirmative. It's not easy knowing. Oh. Wait, I just gotta. Wait, I can't read that shit. It's not easy knowing what questions to ask. Myself was an exterior vendor of fine golden cuisine and a military gentleman.
Yes.
Guess we'll just see this one. I have no idea what you're talking about. A Koben boy? A Koben? You mean the old Indo coin? The day prior of the incident, a treasure of exalted value from Hero period entered my possession. I looked myself to the restaurant of the following day with said items in my bosom pocket. In the hope of apparently hostile appearance, it is indecipherable value being present. So you were hoping to sell your Koben coin to Sergeant Nosa, who you met at the restaurant? Yes, yes, it's quite clear where you're going from this, boy. You were about to assert that penniless soldier would have no hope of purchasing a precious Coben. Is that so? Well, you little, you little upstart cunt. You weren't. You want to add discipline a superior officer to your list of crimes, do you? Bluntly, Blatten substation. No, no, I didn't say anything. Although penniless might be just the word I was looking for. In that case, the hour was already advanced beyond that of the midday lunchery. There remained precious few present of with whom I could engage to discourse about matters of business. The gentleman beside me, who was grappling with his braids veil at the time, was my sole process. No. I see. Okay. At the piercing moment, a firearm was discharged, and I observed the enemy's action with my own eyes.
Yes!
So, you're saying that you actually saw me at the time? Affirmative. I saw you. Laughing, crackling like a madman as you trained the barrel of your gun in the English civilian. But that's impossible. I only... Allow me to confirm just one point, please. What's that, Private? Think carefully about the statement you just made. It seems to me that you must have been just after you heard the gunshot that you looked over at the victim's table. And so what if I was? Well, if that really is the case, would it mean that you didn't in fact see the piercing moment when the killer actually fired the gun? Sorry. Ugh. And double. My sixth sentence. Sorry? My sixth sense of danger, I picked up the wave of murderous energy radiance from your foul mind. Which means a split second before you pulled the trigger, I was looking right at you, Candid. Surely it's not just really possible, is it? Do you think I have to get where I was today in the army if I couldn't sense danger in the air, son? Well, it would seem this soldier is obviously... Was that the baby again? Absolutely convinced that he saw you in the deed. This is not good. The black uniform whistle candidate fired on the Englishman civilian, and from the back, that cowardly little witness. From the back.
Yes!
Oh, I did not mean to do that. Oops. I was trying to fuck. I did not mean to. Pay no attention, Your Excellency. Huh, as you wish. The kindly lawyer. Damn it. I did not mean to do that. I was trying to fucking... How do I switch to... No! Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Fuck. I didn't mean to do that. It's trying to... Wait, do I do... Okay, go present. Why can I not? I guess I can't. Not just yet. Fired.
Yes.
Let's do this. Huh. So this black uniform university candidate you saw, that was... Ugh. I just had just enough of your sauce candidate. I'm gonna bite one more time. Oops, sorry. Alright. Who else do you see around here in black uniform? Well, there is someone sitting right next to me who fits the description as well, but it was you, you little weasel. You unloaded the firearm on that man. From behind his back. Huh. What is it? I'm not quite sure. There's something that the sergeant just said, but I can't put my finger on. Something is playing on my mind. Well, I already know what it is. In that case, check back over the details of the evidence. We already know what the evidence. And if you don't find the internally there with what the witness just said, then don't hold back. Oh, we won't. I won't hold back on that. Present the evidence in the court, thrust in the witness' face, and make him choke on it. I was on my hands and knees investigating on the whereabouts of my mysterious...
Yes.
We'll process this. I'm gonna try to finish this fucking pizza really quick. Or really quick. Hold on. Probably hear me chewing, which kind of sounds disgusting, but... One more bite. Alrighty. On your hands and knees. Could you explain that, please? That's right. Spurning the artist I was in order to retrieve the lost piece. What lost piece are you referring to? The Cuban, of course. The exile Hino area Cuban coin. I had just been showing the rare treasure to the military man as he made his meal. Whoa, what the fuck? After averting my eyes of the bottom of the moment, it was there no more. It simply vanished. The Cuban vanished? Instantly, I began to acquire myself with the intricacies of the floor in order to locate it, and then it happened. You heard the gunshot, you mean? None other than. Though it was no concern of mine. I was frankly scouting the floor on the formation, the lost treasure. So in fact, you didn't actually witness the piercing moment when the incident occurred. Indeed, myself, I did not. Ugh, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here. Listen, we know there are lies lurking in these statements. The time of the exposure. Yeah, we already know what it is. I understand that. The question is, how? Like I said before, the key is using evidence that you've collected. You can examine. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we gotta know all this stuff, so. Compare all the. Other words, entirely innocent. Okay, when you find a statement as a piece of evidence that seems good in each other. Present your evidence with X. Yep, we already know about that. Just be careful because production, no business, you'll get penalties. Yep. We were lost too because of my fucking stupidity. Alrighty. You hear the witness statement over and over again as many times as you like. Okay. Yeah, he's about to fucking unsight that fucking katana, man. Alright, we already know the fucking evidence, so. In the back. Okay, so we're gonna present the autopsy. And. Or. I think I did the autopsy, so I guess we'll just do this.
Yes.
Yep, there we go. Everyone's all quiet. Where are you playing at, candidate? What is this meaning of this supposition? There's some photograph printing of mine. Let's go. Insecurity, sir. I mean, yes. There's a clear introduction here. I like how he came and slammed the fucking table. Tisk, what nonsense. Ah, shit, hold on. What can this print possibly tell us about we didn't already know? Well, obviously, that, I know what I have to say, but the words just can't come out of my own mouth. Huh. I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in this grand courtroom. Ugh. This is so frustrating. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It could have been more plain. To spell it out would be an insult to the court. Kazuma? What? What are you talking about? It appears from the single glance at this photograph printed present by the defendant that there is a clear indication here with the sergeant's statement. What? Sergeant Nosa. Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniform vessel candidate fired on the Englishman civilian and from the back, cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir.
Yes.
But no, that just can't be. And why not, candidate? Because, because, because. Take a closer look at this print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from the bullet from the chest. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the corpus shot the victim from behind. And that is obviously discriminatory here. Well, how do you explain that? This dude has a fucking baby in his back. What the? What was that? Something just popped up behind his back, but he pushed it down again. Certainly there is a clear interlining the fact here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir. As this certificate that it would appear to be indissoluble. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious carnival steak, sir. He does have a fucking baby. What? The last testimony in the court heard that proves that one thing beyond the result doubt. That this witness, Sergeant Nosa, did not see the defendant fire the gun at all. That's absurd. I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. That there's no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. There's been a completely turnabout in the mood of this trial. This is one of the So this is what being a ace attorney is all about. But I definitely saw him. That university candidate there, he was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back.
Yes.
But I never fired the gun. And all I did was pick it up from the bottom. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment that the victim was shot either. Myself, I've already been quite clear. The gunshot into me was very far too busy on the floor. Oh yes, you were looking for your Kotobin coin, weren't you? Indeed, the prize from the Kobin. Hunting around the under table I was, in case it has been fallen there, and then it happened. You heard the gunshot, you mean? Indeed I did, but I heard it not, for I was certain only with finding my absurd hidden treasure. Nothing could distract me. Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end? No. I see. That lamentable day, the piercing Hummel Coben was lost to me. No doubt, some unsuspected pocket the prize coin for myself. As I am sure everyone present is aware, that this case demands a shift in resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to the Great British by telegraphing this very afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness testimony in this car has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how suspicious our government feels it must be to the British. That it will be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. What is your position, Prosecutor Archie? Why not, Your Excellency? The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will find a wolf at the back. My witness has further testimony to make. Explain. Upon hearing the next statement, it will be because of utterly clear that there is only no no one only one person who could possibly have committed this crime. Equally was defended. The Haruda. What? He really seems to have a special opinion of you, doesn't he? Very well, then the court invites the witness to testify again. You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution allegation. Is that clear? As clear as Kittle's glasses, Your Excellency. Yes, sir, at once, sir. Awaiting signal is to testify. Excuse me, but is there something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think? Affirmative. My newest member of the Noah family to rise up through the ranks, sir. Named Adido? Adio? Aido, I guess. It would seem those straps are a sign of Sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. Ideal tension. Your father is about to coincidentally the enemy. Watch and learn, my boy. Oh God. The true culprit. Even if what I saw wasn't the piercing moment, the firearm was discharged. It's almost the same thing. Yes, pointing his gun at the foreigner man that was the young lad in black. That much I myself do see. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself. Furthermore, no one other than the black uniformed candidate could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out. Okay. These testaments.
Yes.
Oh shit. Wait, that's nonsense. The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all. Please, enough of this outburst already. But there was a woman. There was a young woman at his table. You must have seen her. Everyone there must have seen her.
Attention!
If you call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We will not here to listen your finances. It'll be evident beyond of all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. Okay, I want to see court records. Here it is. So, an army sergeant of the Empire of Japan who witnessed the incident, a owner of Rasuti who was hunting for a lost holding golden kobo coin at the time of the incident. Okay. Let's see. The prosecutor has photographic evidence in this fact. This is the photograph print of the scene of the crime council. Indeed, of course. Of the table at the victim was dying, taken by the investigator immediately after the incident. As you plainly been seen, there is only one place set. Certainly, based on the appearance of this print, it will be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else. This doesn't make any sense. The court will add this new photographic evidence to the record. Okay. I don't understand. What's going on here? It was just no possible that no one else saw that woman. The witness before us said the same thing. He's maintaining that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. But that's not true. I saw her. I swear I saw a woman with him. It would seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report to the Great Britain at the time all. On time at all, after all. The witness testimony will have just heard, leaving no further room of doubt. There are very sensitive can't talk, holy shit. Vital times, as we all know, the ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. To think that not going to pronounce that name, will have contributed to the enemy to these two great empires is an honor. How can this be happening? The judge is ready to rule? Stand tall. It's not over yet. What? If you said it's true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. And now your chance is to expose it, to draw out the truth in your cross-examination. I don't know, Kazuma. The defendant is entitled to cross-examine the witness, but make it quick, understood? Rules can be unbinding at times. Ugh. Alright, let's do this. The true culprit. Even if I wasn't the piercing, wasn't the piercing moment, the violence was discharged, almost the same thing.
Yes.
No. It's not the same thing at all. From the start, I didn't fire the gun. We have a difference of opinions on that. The option of a ununiformed officer visually that of the culprit. I don't think so. Consider this, defendant. Just a moment ago, I blinked. Did you? Did you see it? Did you see me blink? How could I? And yet, it is a real fact that I did blink. So there you have it. Have what? Tension. The sound of firearm ranges in my ears in the very next moment. I saw you waving a gun at the Englishman. I think that says it all, don't you? Let us not forget that the antidote dealer witnessed the occurrence of the most. Well, is that so? Yes, he pointing his gun at the foreigner man. He was that young lady, the young lad in black. That much I myself did see. Yes, it may be true that I was holding a gun at that point of time, but I told you already. That's only because I picked it up off the floor. Obviously, as a corporate, this is the only way you could explain it anyway. I had just finished drinking my coffee. I was about to leave the restaurant when I noticed the gun on the floor at Dr. Wilson's feet, so I picked it up. And exactly that moment, bang. A gunshot rang to my ears. Full of events beyond our control, life is. Sorry? What did you mean? In your case, you found a pistol on the floor and picked it up, which particularly is testing pepper dickment. Sorry. Hurdles conversely. I failed to pick up the Kobin from the floor and find myself in an equally testimonial predicament as a result. Anyway, the fact remains, myself, I did see you. With the pistol in hand, standing over the Voyager. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present.
Yes!
You must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there. As you have been a pain to point out times and again, I feel I've grown a callous to my ear, and yet no one else appears to have caught even a glimpse of this woman. If only there had been more people dining there at the time, then someone else would have noticed her. Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. The quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant. I know, of course. The place was almost empty, but what you expect? What did you expect? Sorry. Certainly, 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in the terms of time to eat. I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at the time of day and why he was alone. Yes, Your Excellency, there was indeed a reason. There was? This was found in the victim's jacket pocket. What is it, Counsel? This is a medical report card, Your Excellency. It would seem that the victim had an appointment at the clinic prior to visiting the restaurant. Huh. Hara Clinic, you say. There would be indeed appear to be an entry for a date in question. 19th of November, noon to past 1 p.m. Huh. The very day of the incident. So the victim went for a late lunch before his appointment. The explanation could be more simpler. The prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence before, as there's really no hearing to bring in the case. I wonder, what do you think? Huh? Well, is it hard to see how it could be related, really? Remember, you could request from it to be entered into court record as evidence if you think it could be useful. Yes, we're going to submit it.
Yes!
If I may, I'd like to ask for that medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency. On what grounds? The court has already heard the conclusion witness testimony. Additional evidence would be... Sorry. Not much... Not to mention that the victim's movement prior to his arrival at the restaurant are no concern. Whether or not they are for certain is upon to be decided. We have already to explore all possible varieties. I beg your pardon? You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request from the submission of evidence. Very well, the court will grant the defendant's request. Youngsters these days are forever asserting their rights. This must be a trend. Officer, kindly add this victim's medical report card to the court record. Okay. What we need right now is new clues. We have to explore explore things from the very possible angles, even if they don't seem relevant at first. Right, I hear you. You can conspire to prologue this trial as much as you like, but the day after the festival all ready for you. Or perhaps you've forgotten that these witness testimonies leave no room for doubt. Feel free to relevant the accused. Sorry. So, hold up. What does this thing say? I don't want to present, but medical record, medical report card from the clinic that was found in the victim. It said from noon. It was like noon to 1 o'clock p.m. Indeed, alone he was, an Englishman dying all by himself.
Yes!
So you actually saw that with your own eyes, did you? The victim, Dr. Wilson, dining alone. That I did. Forgive me for the position I placed in you. So the testimony of the old man, the soldier, and the waiter all agreed at the point. Isn't that interesting? And let us not forget the little evidence we have to support their statement as well. As clearly been seen, there's not a single beefsteak on the victim's table, a meal for one. No. According to the dealer, the sergeant, and the waiter who testified before, it's not impossible that they're all lying. But if so, then why? If I'm perfectly honest, I have absolutely no idea. Oh shit. I gotta fuck. Well, yes, but I have a feeling that it would change much. I couldn't see what brings any real pillow to the light. I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report you got before. Oh, you mean this? Yes, this is a brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we could examine it with a little more detail. How exactly? You notice that some pieces of the evidence bear a microfibering glass. There's one in your exam. Press A and you can take a closer look at the piece of question. Use the right stick. Oh. To rotate the evidence in all directions and examine it from all angles by using that's how you do it. Can't believe I'm recording this for like almost 2 hours now. I was really hoping I could make this video done, but I guess we're gonna have to get this over with as soon as we're done with the first stage of this. So you can move the crosshair around the hunt for clues that may have been missed before. If the crosshair starts to pulsate, press A to examine further. So, partner, I think you should take a closer look at this medical report. If you see isn't something new, it would be learned by examining more detail. Alright, I'll see what I can do. All you need to use is press that and to inspect any areas of evidence that look suspicious. Okay. I saw this. It says Hoda Clinic on this medical report card. I hate clinics almost as much as I hate hospitals and surgery. Aren't they all the same? Well, I have 5. I only caught a cold I never had in my life. And I remember, even though I felt it awful already, I have always had a hideous injection in my right arm. Brr. I never forget it, never in my whole life. Most people would give their right arm to have only one cold to their whole life. Anyways, I don't think this is the clinic where they treat people's illness like this. This keeps looking for clues. We don't want to miss anything. Yeah. But I see something from the back. Look at that. It looks like the medical report card was first issued quite some time ago. It was probably a record for long-term treatment. That's why with the family doctor, I imagine. Well, I can't imagine. Go to a doctor, I mean. As long as I'm alive, I'm never consulting one. Well, if you were dead, so there's no point. So you don't like doctors then. Why would you? They make me drink horrible tasting medicine. They give you painful injections, and yet they determine lots of money for you just for privilege, all while you're at your lowest. You sound like a model patient with a bad case of I got a reward. Subjective no else, for which the only cure is very bitter medicine indeed. Okay, well, we see something right here. Peel this off. Ooh. What's all this? Let's have a look. Some kind of medical history. Ah, and there's an entry on the day that the professor was killed. Extractum of moral with typical amnesia. No, you mean he had a tooth taken out? It would seem so. Just before the incident, he had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they used laughing gas that must have monitored patients with the West and with pain relief. Wait, so if he went to the dentist to get his teeth removed, would that mean that he couldn't eat at all? Especially with the steaks, and the steak is like really tender. It's kind of really hard to like chew it. Huh. Yes, I heard of this anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe there's anything that can actually stop you feeling pain. There's a note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drinks besides water 3 hours before. Yeah. So yeah, you can't eat food after the procedure because you just gotta fuck your teeth removed. It's gonna be fucking pain. Really? Sounds like information worth breeding in mind. Alright. With this new information, the meaning of the one particular statement totally changes. So I think it's time we listen to the testimony again, don't you? Definitely. I'm gonna just like keep going, because I want to hear the last one. Well, where do I do this? I think I do this one. And then present.
Yes.
Yep. I think that's how you do it. Well, I think about what Wondering lad, call yourself a lawyer? I wish I could, but first a foremost here I accuse. Who said everyone's stable on their word occasionally, under the circumstances. I am worried about it. Thanks, Kazuma. I can see quite clearly that the cross-examination you just carried out, when you raised your hand straight up like that, so professionally, you knew exactly what was it that you wanted to say. Do you feel like you have a choice in your words carefully? Just say what you're thinking. Alright. Then ask for advice. Russo Kansa, this is a medical report card belonging to the victim. Ah, I see, and I don't see you of it, boy. Comparing what the witness on the report card in your witness statement, something clearly doesn't add up. Dear me, have you forgotten my words so soon? You amateur? Sorry, what? You are not to interrupt court proceeding with your amateur Darrell. But let's see if I can explain in words you might understand. It was after 2 o'clock in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant. But that's, remember, you don't have to use clever language or fanciful words. Just make your point. Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There is surely no need to prolong this trial further. The witness testimony, the court has heard have been clear and concerned. This medical report has no bearing on the matter at all for simple reason that there's no one else besides this. Oh, I finally slammed my hands. This medical report card has nothing to do with the case. Do you really believe that? What outburst have President me, boy? Of course I believe it. How could it possibly be relevant? Perhaps because Hoto Clinic, which issues the report card, is a dental clinic. A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me? Perhaps if I told you that the victim just had a tooth extracted. What is this now? And furthermore, if I told you that as a result the victim had been forbidden from eating. Just what are you trying to say, candidate? He had ordered not to. He had orders not to eat. So what? It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours. Proceed while anesthesia wears off. What? No, that can't be. Kazo-sama? What boy? What? As you just heard, when he was killed sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No. And additionally, there's more? You have asserted the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. Oh, he slammed his hand. But that can't possibly be the case. Because the victim, as we now know, just had one teeth extracted and it was still experiencing the effect of the anesthesia. Expertly done, partner. What? What is this nonsense? You little upstart. These basically just took at this photographic evidence. You can clearly see the plate on the food's victim's table.
Objection!
Use your head. This is very what we're talking about. Or can't you follow the logic? How dare you? I think it's fair to say that the tables in this statement case has turned. Would you agree? Yes, most definitely. So have just undergone some dental surgery. The victim was unable to eat. Which leaves this one very causal conduct. Wait, so how come... I'm actually kind of wondering. How come that in this picture, like, the food is, like, literally right here? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Which leaves one clearly conductum. Who, in fact, was eating the picture beef steak? Oh, wait. I think they drew it, right? It's not like... This is like a drawing? It was just a photograph. The court will hear the opinion of the defendants on this new puzzle, assuming you're ready, counsel. Counsel? Oh, that means me, doesn't it? Alright. The answer to this question is going to be provoked. But to start the turning this trial around, so show them what you're made of. Got it. So, the person eating the steak victim must have an unset unknown third party. Obviously, it can only have been someone else who was sitting at that professor's table. You will not let this go, will you? There's no such person.
Yes.
There was, because I saw her. When the incident occurred, we know that the victim could have been eating anything. Yet we have evidence on the behalf of eating steak on this table. Therefore, the only logic conclusion is that there was somebody else there eating it. We have strong evidence to support our assumption. It's clear that their victims' testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage... Oh dang, he's gonna pull out the katana? We will launch a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial righteously. Kazuma? Are you insane? You would take on the government? Don't worry, counsel. I have no issues with you. What do you mean? I have issues with them, the two witnesses in the stand. What are you talking about? We have determined with evidence that the victim was not alone. So, if it turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you'll be charged with perjury. Perjury? And, since this is a murder trial, it would also be deemed complicit in the kill. Complicit in the murder? No. Negative. There is no mention of this tactical meeting. I was just following orders. That's right. As the man says. It's just say that you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they told us. Oh. Oh. What? What did you say? Oh, no. You were just following orders? Now hold on, lad. I was said that you never saw the gentlewoman. Uh-oh. When you're saying gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with the lady from overseas? What?
Attention!
What? What's the meaning of this? These witnesses gave false statements? Is that true, your pair? Uh-oh. Just one. Just one simple slip out of the tongue. Order, order. Counsel, explain what's going on here. It's painfully clear now you tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth. Absolutely not. The prosecution knows nothing of this. He just had to say. But then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut? Well, that's classified. So you're preparing to be tied as a conspirator for this murder, aren't you? You wouldn't. This can't be happening. Judging from the way they're reacting to this, I say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Ashley has any idea about this. Wait, is that what? I don't believe Ashley had any idea about it. Okay, what are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there are only a handful of. Okay, I think we're back. Alright, something just happened while I was recording, so sorry about that. Okay. It can only have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well, any idea about who might be behind this? If we can affirm who trying to sign these witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit. So we need to name whoever was tied to make these witnesses keep their mouths shut. Of course, we need evidence before we make any firm accusation. Keeping evidence that proves that whoever it was really did wield this or her power here. But how? How can we possibly... Remember how we made progress before? We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and further more clues as a result. Oh yes, I remember. That's right. Well, it's not the only piece of evidence we have, that is. We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we missed. There's no time to lose. I want answers. If this proves that the witness have been, but I accuse you to penalize with this service. Please, wait. Your Excellency, I have no idea of any of this. I swear to every Shogun god. I know nothing. And what does the defendant have to say about this? Well, Your Excellency, no time to think. I'm just going to have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes in my head. Besides the prosecutor, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate these witnesses is... I mean... It's probably simple. It's probably going to be the head waiter. So... let's do it.
Yes!
Well, Surely it would be Soze Hujin's son. Actually, I want to see something really quick. Yeah. He's a chief inspector. Well, that's unexpected. What is it? Look, do you see what it says in the witness name here? What is it? Yes, the business card do intend to show the person's name. That's sort of the point. It's not the name that explains it. It's his job title. His job? Oh, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division. Prison. Yeah. I knew it was going to be the waiter too, but it's just like... I kind of forgot that I needed to do this, because I thought that I was going to examine it, and then after that I have to do it. Yeah. Or at least now we know that we can have evidence of, like... Oh, what's his number? Imperial. Alright. The waiter who took the stand earlier? Pitycock. What possibly the reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimonies? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have that level of influence. For once, I would agree with you. If that is, the man truly were a waiter. What? If he truly were? Come on. It's time to hit this court with the truth. Sorry. The truth about the guy's identity as proven by this evidence. And that is this one.
Yes.
Take that. The plan of the restaurant sketch by the man in the question. I agree this shows a great idea of attention of detail, but I'm not sure what we can conclude anything. Sorry, Excellency. That's the back of the card. It's the back of the card. The back of the card that's of interest. I beg your pardon. Or perhaps I should have said the front. Yes, the front of the back of the card is where the telling detail is. Would somebody please explain what student is trying to say? Hugin's sketch of the plan of the restaurant on the reserve side of his business card. His front of the business card revealed the man in the question profession, his true profession. The waiter's profession. But that's surely... Good gracious. That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. What? The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this? The Imperial Police Bureau has a mere power, absolutely power as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witness there in the stand, it was the fact that the waiter who gave you your order. It was he told you to not mention that you seen this foreigner gentlewoman at the scene. Well, oh man. The waiter, Inspector Hugenson. I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was I realized it was a possibility. The court will take this plan and it will add the court records as evidence. Yeah, I kind of noticed that. Oh, well, is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course, here you are. Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I tried to carry out all the investigation flawlessly in my own guiding person. But I let myself to distract when I made that sketch. It was an unusual careless mistake. So mean you're saying you really are the detective? But why would a detective be working at a restaurant waiter? Of course. You said... Wait, what did you say? Your salary must be terrible. I was working undercover. Undercover? Yes. There have been a serial of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents? That would be classified police information, which I am not liable to divulge. However, I can state a category that there are irrelevant to this case of homicide. Very well then, Inspector. But will you embrace on the one point of the court? Of course, Your Excellency. Still not over? Damn. We just heard new information from these two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that was indeed true, clearly you would have been aware of this person present, have serving a table in question. However, your testimony did not allow us in this other dinner. Therefore, I led to assume... Sorry. I'm drinking water. That your professional capacity as a police officer, you required these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable. As I suspect. Not say nothing. Bang! As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out the kitchen to see what happened. The victim sat slumpily down in his chair beside him, gun in hand, stood across the student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman. So the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the brewer. It was then I received some special orders. Special orders? What do you mean to say? To remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once. It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But what if the Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would have been in everyone's best interest not to be pursued with that idea. The Empire viewed the friendly terms of the relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishman had been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as a primary suspect, well, without inferential evidence, it would be completely out of the question. So that's the reason the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in the case. But that's not right. Okay, so it looks like there was an Englishwoman, and he was given orders to remove her, which is kind of weird. One possibility does spring out in mind. What do you mean? Yumi University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain, and I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the medical pharmacy research laboratory, is a young Englishwoman. What? You're a sure man. I can see why you're chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. You mean, when I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it pursued to check her ID first. The court demands that you name the lady in question at once, Inspector. The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor table was a certain Miss Julian Burton? Hold on. Is that the... No. I thought that was like this guy, but no. She is indeed a foreigner student studying in the research and laboratory of Yumi University Medical Facility. What is happening to me? I met the under orders. Wait, is that what he said? What is happening here? Oh, I thought it said me. I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene. And orders of these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimony. It must now be up to your excellency to decide how to deal with this situation. Very well. My thoughts on the matter as follows are as follows. Thus far, the case presents in the case have been underpinned by the particular critical pressure, namely that the victim was dining alone. However, as we now discover that this material is false, it would be discussed that our judgment system to ignore the truth and give the result as point. But Your Excellency, that would mean that missing a noon deadline of the ruling in order to send the telegraph report to the Great Britain of our own government will surely be very displeased by such actions. Calm yourself, Counsel. I will not allow the government of our any other influences to proceed in my courtroom. Inspector Hugo. Yes, sir. You will locate this Julie's Bretts and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency. But that means you'll be going against the special orders you were given to the police. As I said before, it was my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So it would be a problem. So that won't be a problem. Yeah. Nothing will get in my way. Why is he coughing up blood, man? Court will now adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student Justin Bray to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Your Excellency. Good. Then we'll have a 30-minute recess before recovering. To be continued. Alright. Well, that is it for the first part. Man, I've fucking recorded for like 2.5 hours. There's no way I'm going to be able to cut this, man. But we are going to save, though. Oh shit, I didn't save. Oops. Okay. But as that, so I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. So my name's Alex. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.